So on page 162, we've been talking about bitachon last few weeks about bitachon when it comes to finances. Person has too much money, too little money. Now we're talking about bitachon when it comes to relationships. Apo perish ha'chelik ha'shlishi, the third part where a person should have bitachon. Vehem inyane ishto. So he should have bitachon regarding his wife, his children, the people in his house, the krovav, his relatives, the avav, his friends, his enemies, his household, the people that know him. So we also have to have bitachon when it comes to our relationships with other people. People that are more prestigious than he, people that are less prestigious. The way to have bitachon is like I will explain. A person will find himself in one of two situations in life. He'll be alone, or he will be amongst his family and relatives. Right? So we're going to explain that even someone who has a family, he might have to be away from his family. You have all these stories in Europe where the husband had to travel to some foreign land for 10 years to make money and all these things. So a person's going to find himself in one of two scenarios. Either he is going to be by himself, or he'll be with family and people that he knows. So first he's going to discuss the idea of bitachon when a person finds himself alone. If a person finds himself to be alone, he should realize that Hashem is his company, that Hashem is with him. And he should have trust in Hashem in his when he's away from people. He should realize and think that really, even when we're around other people, we're also alone because the neshama, our soul, really doesn't belong here. Our soul feels like a stranger in this world. So really, no matter, even when we're around people, we are still strangers because our soul doesn't belong here, doesn't want to be here. This is not the natural environment for the neshama. The neshama belongs up there. So when we find ourselves alone, we should take comfort in the fact that really, even our neshama, when we're with other people, is alone. It says, you are strangers and sojourners imadi with me. It says here on the bottom, right, a person, there's two benefits, he says, immediate benefits when you're around friends and family. One is that you have people to talk to, you have companions, and also you can turn to people for help. So he says when a person is alone, Hashem takes care of those two things. You have bitachon in Hashem, that Hashem is your companion, and also that if you need help with anything, Hashem is the one who is going to help you. V'yachshav b'libo, he should think in his heart, ki kol mi sheyesh lo krovim bo adman ma'at yashuv nachri boded v'lo yoilehu karov v'lo ben v'lo yischaber imo echad imalim. A little bit of a morbid thought in a way, but it's true that eventually when we leave this world, we're going to be alone. Everyone, his neshama is going to leave him, and his relatives aren't going to be coming with him. They're going to be staying here, and he's going to the next world. So in a sense, every person has this aspect of being alone. He points out here from Rav Matasyahu that it means that when a person goes before his final judgment in front of Hashem, he's not going to have friends and family there to argue on his behalf. He's just going to be him. So it's going to happen to anybody, no matter what. So let's say someone doesn't have a family. He can take comfort in the fact that he doesn't have the burden of supporting a wife and kids. He should think that this is one of the goodnesses that Hashem did for him. If he has to run around for monetary matters all day, so it's going to be easier for him to make money if he doesn't have to support a wife and kids. And their absence actually is a benefit for him. And if he wants to spend his time to work on things for the afterlife, spiritual matters, a person who doesn't have the burden of supporting a wife and kids can devote his time more to avodas Hashem, to serving Hashem. Valkein haya prushim, he talks about the prushim, the holy people that would separate themselves. Barchim mikreveim, they would run away from their relatives, umibatehem, from their houses, they would go to the mountains, and they would sit by themselves in order that they could devote their hearts to service of Hashem. Also, the prophets, they would leave their homes and go into contemplation. To what Hashem wants from them, to think about these things. What does God want from me? This happened with Eliyahu and with Elisha. Eliyahu, of course, was a prophet, and so was Elisha. Elisha was Eliyahu's student. And it says, Shenemar Alav, about Elisha, Shneim Aser Tzemadim Lefanav Vahu B'Shneim HaAser. There were 12 oxen in front of him, and Elisha was the 12th ox, was with the 12th ox. And what Eliyahu did, he hinted to him by putting his mantle on him, and Elisha chapped. He realized that he's supposed to be the next prophet. So what did he do? So Elisha understood, I'm going to kiss my mother and father, and I'm going to go after you. He went after Eliyahu, and he served him. He's making the point here that for Elisha to become a prophet, he had to leave his family and go into seclusion. And they bring on the bottom now, there's a lot of stories of Vilna Gaon. Many big people, they would go into seclusion so they could sit and think about how to serve Hashem. And they bring here from I think it was the Sefer Haredim they quoted, that we don't really do this nowadays, right? No one's going to, maybe you go to like Monmouth Battlefield State Park and like find a spot there, but no, he says for short periods of time, there's a good thing, like once a week, he says a person should have a time where he sits by himself and thinks about his avodas Hashem. So you can go for a walk, go to a park in a private place, and just think about Hashem, or put yourself into a room. So I don't know, personally I don't know anyone who like goes for like years or a month at a time to learn how to become a prophet now. I don't think that's very possible, or to focus on their avodas Hashem. But there is a benefit to taking a certain amount of time every week to think about how to serve Hashem. Okay, the Amru al Echad Prushim they say about one of the Prushim. He wanted to go to a certain city to teach them how to serve Hashem properly. When he came to the city, he saw that all the people were wearing the same color clothes and adornments. They're all wearing the same thing. Kind of like BMG if you go there. And he saw that they had their graves outside the entrances of their houses. And there were no women amongst them. This is very interesting practice you guys have here. They said to him, the reason we all wear the same color, we shouldn't be able to tell the difference between a poor person and a rich person. And the rich person should not become haughty with his wealth. And the poor person, we don't want him to become denigrated and looked down upon. So he says that, and the reason is because we want the way we are on earth to be the way we are in Olam Haba. And Olam Haba doesn't have how much money you have. It doesn't at all. Everyone's on the same plane in that respect. So too in this world. But Namar, it says, Al Echad Ma'amalachim, there was a certain king, Shahai Mis'arev ben Avadav, he used to mingle amongst his servants. V'lo haya nikir benem, you couldn't tell who the king was. Mipnei shahai noeg menach hashiflus v'tachshitav u'malbushav. He would act in a very humble way, and he would dress just like his servants. Umashe, that's just, right, he's bringing the story of the king to show that, bringing another example of just everyone wearing the same thing, so that there's no, because really there's no reason, a person has money, there's no reason to become haughty and feel that you're superior to somebody else. And now he's analyzing the other practices. And that which we put the graves outside our doors, that we can take their example. Prepare to die. And that we should prepare ourselves for the next world by doing tshuva and things like that, and doing good deeds, to remind ourselves that we're not here forever. And that which this is really why he's bringing the story, is to show us why did these people separate from their families. We put our families in a close by city, and when they need something, We go, we do what we have to do, and we come back. Mipnei inu b'meshi kanis aleinu mitirdos alei v'rova hefsid v'godol ha'yeh v'tarech b'kirvasam v'amenucha mikol zeh b'har chakasam lifchor b'inyanei olam haba. Basically, they would go to take care of their families when they need it, but we wanted to spend a lot of our lives here so we could focus on Avodas Hashem because we're burdened with having a family and whatnot. And the parish, this person who visited, was happy with what they were doing, and he blessed them, and he left on his way. He saw there was nothing that he could teach them. Now, they make a point here on the bottom that we don't really advocate this practice nowadays to take all the women and children out and put them in one place and everyone will go. All the guys will sleep in the shul and just learn all day, and that's not really what we do. But they're just making the point. What we can take out of it is that we need to have a certain time where we can just be alone and think about our Avodas Hashem, think about where we're going in life, if we're meeting our goals, if we have the right goals, if we're doing the right thing, what we can improve on. Because if a person is, especially nowadays, we're all constantly busy with everything, and we don't have, if you never stop and think for a little bit, not to quote Ferris Bueller, but if you don't stop and look around for a little bit, you can miss it. You can miss life. But besides missing life, we want to dedicate ourselves for Avodas Hashem, and then he was talking about before, that the reason he got into this was because this is one of the benefits of being alone. One of the benefits of being alone is a person can dedicate himself to Avodas Hashem. And the next week, Hashem will talk about the benefit of living amongst family and friends.